Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be changing brake pads on a 1996 Ford Bronco. If you don't know how to do it, this is the way to do it. What size socket you got there? Half-inch socket.
This one might be a little hard because, you know, this ain't been changed in a while.
Now, when you go to take your brakes off, this is on the passenger side right. You go up with it, you don't go down.
I was just doing that because it's brake it free.
Now, they may be really tight, but don't go too crazy on them. Just work with it, because if you break those, you're going to be in a bad spot. You see his brake pads, they ain't completely wore down, but there's the little tab on the back on the other side is touching the hub, so when it starts squealing, that's time when you need to change your brake pads.
Or it says about $48, about $49 you can get them.
Yep.
You know what we forgot? C-clamp.
I think Bo's got it.
Where is Uncle Bo? I don't know.
You talking to him. I don't have a clue what the fuck you just said.
C-clamp.
C-clamp.
Well,
So how to remove the thing?
get a C-clamp, put it right here.
Yep.
You're gonna put your brake cylinder in and release the pressure from the brake pads. Once you do that, you just slide this straight back, take your old brake pads off, and slide your new ones on. Which we'll show you here in a little bit once we get a C-clamp.
Usually, if you don't have the C-clamp, you can hammer them off, but you need to be careful because you got these clips. But they do come. Your kit should come with those.
Yeah,
But two, when you're doing your brakes and you're gonna go push that cylinder back in for your brakes, you see your brake reservoir over there. You're supposed to take the cap off of it. That's what I was taught. I don't even know if you necessarily have to, but I don't think it's a bad idea.
well, these don't, but
Yeah, when you get brake pads, make sure they come with them plates that go on the side.
yeah.
Because yours, if anything, if yours is damaged, you'd have to go back up there. So make sure that when you go to get that they have these clips inside the package, because you're going to have to need those, because I think they're kind of like a spacer for your brakes, and that's what they kind of slide it on. And they do come with the grease. This grease, saying it's brake lubricant, they do not go on the brakes. They go on the slide for this caliper to go back and forth. Do not put that grease on your drums, because if you do, you're not stopping. So,
Well, I hope you got good back brakes.
because I've seen a couple people on YouTube that done that, and just a fair warning, I don't think there's a lot of people out there that's that ignorant to do that, but that's what the grease is for. You just put it right there where this slides back and forth. That way you have your brakes can brake. You can brake easier. Let's just say that. Oh, we'll be right back as soon as we can get the C-clamp. All right. When you're doing this with like a C-clamp and you don't want to have to take the brake pad and push it that away with it off, you can do it this way with it still on the truck. Then you can take it all off, just like you did. See, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
It keeps you from have to bleed your brakes and all that.
Just double check down there around your cylinder to make sure the rubber around it's still good. If you see any kind of liquid that's come out of it, you might want to replace your caliper. So, yeah. What I was talking about, where that grease goes, if you see right here, these are where the pads ride right there. That's where the grease goes. It does not go to this.
What the fuck?
Oh, there might be bonus content. We're going to be doing the front end too. We got to replace this whole arm all the way to from there to here, mainly because of that's not supposed to do that. Not that easy. So we got all this stuff right there. That is going to be. If I have anything to do with it, it should be in the same video. Yeah. As you could see, he didn't put the grease on there.
No.
But it's not totally recommended. You do not have to. I mean, it's not like it's going to be the end of the world. The brakes are still going to work, but they would slide a lot better when the caliper's doing its job. But it's not a necessary thing to have on there. Just, if you ever want to do it and you want to put it on there, just remember it goes right there where the brake pads slide on. So when you go to put your brake pads on, the metal tabs, you see what he's doing, they go on the outside. They do not try to put them on the inside. They go into these little holes right there. Once you get all that done, grab a bolt it back up, torque it down pretty good, and you're good to go. When you do the other side, just remember, this is basically all the same on the other side. Once you do the other side and you get done and put the wheel on, remember to pump your brakes, because if you go to leave, you won't have brakes for a little bit. Because you got to remember, you pushed your piston back, so the brakes right now are loose. So pump the brakes up,
as you can see.
and yeah, pump your brakes up before you even move. You could start it up; it don't matter. Just pump them brakes up until you get a solid pedal, then boom, there you go. Like I said, this is on a '96 Ford Bronco, 4x4, if you can tell. We are probably doing video. It won't be in this video or any videos come yet. He's got to change his ball joints, and we will show you how to do that.
Top and bottom.
And yeah, we did top and bottom ball joints on a 4x4 Ford Bronco. So anyway, that's how you do the brakes on a Ford Bronco. We are not going to show you the other side. It's basically the same. Vice versa, when you go to that side over there, it's basically the same.
You just follow the same step.
Yeah. So two, like I said, take the cap off your brake, where you put your brake fluid in at, and when you get done, make sure to put the top back on it and pump your brakes. You should be golden. Next up, the front end. We're going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do this without losing your alignment. Now, if your vehicle's out of alignment, this is not going to help you the way I'm going to show you to do it. So just be aware of that. So it'd be probably a snap in the finger, snap it with the finger to when we jump on this. So we'll see you when we jump to that. All right. Changing this front end, these tie rods. On this type of vehicle, you need to have the wheel off or you can get to that. Because if you get a pickle fork in here, it's going to jam against this or jam back there. You're going up underneath and not up top. But my way of doing this, people may have a different way. You do not remove this. You keep all this intact. Get your steering wheel straight. Make sure you do not move this period until you get over there. Or you could take all this off, make sure your wheel and stuff stays straight. Like this right here, do not move it. take this, screw it onto the new one, and leave these nuts loose. Get over here and put it up here.
Take these off.
Yeah. Do not force these up in this hole. Just screw it in until it gets up to here, and it goes in easy. Just like on the other side, you do the same thing over there.
Hey man, do me a favor.
And by the way, the nut that goes onto this, on this type of, on this truck right here, it was a 7/8. In millimeters, I think it was a 22, but that's what takes this off up here. When you go to take it off, yeah, you're gonna have to take that arm off too. That's if you're not doing that side from the steering box. From what he's doing it from the steering box to the right side, the right wheel, because of all this. Yeah, that's not supposed to do that. So if yours does that, you need to get a new. I think that's an outer tie rod.
Yeah.
He's changing his because of that. This comes separate. If you see over there, if I can. That little one right there, that's the one we're changing. That goes on this end. The longer bar.
That's to be the next one we change on that side.
Yeah, but
And this one goes on the driver's side.
that's what we're changing. Be right back after these messages from nobody.
Might do this one like this.
That came off.
Like a champ.
Yep. All right. Yep. Keep that steering wheel straight.
It wasn't straight when I got in there.
Oh fuck.
It's alright.
We'll straighten
It's
it back.
still in the same position because I was kind of holding it because you never told me to keep it from turning while you were beating on it, so I kind of held it while you were
Oh, that
beating
bitch is bent. I was like, what the fuck?
Hey,
It's made like that. If you see a little bend in it, it's made like that, by the way. Don't figure like I do.
So what he's gonna have to do, he's got to take those two nuts loose to back this off to get that sleeve. He don't need none of this. These two, he just needs
Hey,
that sleeve to
Bobo.
put on that over there.
Bring me a tape measure.
excuse me, sir.
What you do is you put that right there, see, and you go take your. Is that the new one right there? Yeah. Put the new one over there. There you go. My thing is, I tell you to do is when you're taking this off, like I said, keep the wheel straight. Make sure somebody's in the truck keeping the wheel straight.
This one wasn't straight to start with.
But if your wheels ain't straight or it ain't in line, just try to put it back the best of way you can. Make sure the wheels they're not going one going that way and one going that way. Make sure they're straight on. If you want to do this the right way of getting it lined up, take a piece of string from the back wheel. Make sure it's touching both sides of this tire. Run it all the way to the front to this tire, and try to keep your line pulled straight. If it either touches here first or touches there first and it ain't touching, you're gonna have to adjust the wheel to where it's touching both ends of the rope or the string. That's the redneck way of doing that. The old school way, what I was taught. So, yeah, basically you got to take all this off and put your new ones on. What size socket was that?
5/8.
It's a 5/8 socket you put on that. Thing is, it could differ from any, if you have the same model truck, it could be different, but that's how you do that. But to try to get it straight on what he's going to do, if he's going to measure it. That way we can put these back in right. But even if he's off and he ain't right, I can still get it. But this will get it dead on if he. But to do it my way, you won't have to worry about that. But anyway, like I said, just make sure you keep your wheel straight, and you will need like a pickle fork like that, and to get this off. Just make sure when you go to put the new one back on there, you get everything perfect, because if once you jam this on in there and bolt this all down, it's going to take another pickle fork to take it back out, which I wouldn't suggest, because if you tear the rubbers up on these, it's still good, but you're going to get trash and dirt in there. So we'll come back to you once we start installing this. All right, we might have got all this installed. So what you're going to do is get that over there. Let's see if I can close up in on it. Not what he's working on. Right there where that castle nut is, that new one. You want to bolt that up first. Then come on down to here. And if this is further out than that and your wheels are straight, just screw this on in until it meets up with this. Do not force this up in there. Make sure that this goes up in there by itself without forcing it. Just goes up in, and then tighten your castle nut up and get your Carter key, run through there, and either you could bend it this way or vice versa up there, it don't matter, as long as you get the key in there. Make sure you get all this tightened down. I think it took a 16 for me to tighten these all up. Make sure you get all this tightened up. And what he's doing right there, he's trying to get that back in.
It's a pain in the ass.
May need to go screw in a little bit more. If it ain't trying to go in by itself. Unless that hole is just.
It's an awkward hole.
We're not being dirty neither. That.
Tickled the boy all day yesterday. The boy sitting down on that pipe and still have him up on the tip.
Yeah, you might have to screw it in if it don't go in by itself.
Screw it out. Because I can't start it.
That's that paint they got in there is keeping you from going in.
No, I see the hole. No, that's in it. That's
You got it in, and then you put your castle nut on there and get your ratchet or whatever wrench you're using.
Where's that wrench you had it?
And over there with you?
No, it's right here in front of you.
Oh, my bad. I think that was 7/8
Yeah.
for the castle nut. Get that, tighten it on up. Get as tight as you can get it. Then line your hole up for your Carter key. Put your Carter key in, bend it. You're done with that part. Just remember on your sleeves to make sure you tighten these nuts back down. If you don't, this thing can come out of alignment. Just make sure you get them really down tight enough. There's like if you're, let me bring this back out. If you're changing this and you're just changing this, make sure you get this tight. But if you're changing that down there too, it's got the same thing as this right here. Get it all tightened up. Once you get it all tightened,
Make sure you got your car keys in there.
yeah, make sure you got your Carter keys in there. Once you get your wheel back on, which you have to take the wheel off to do this, I would, to take this one off, because the fork, trying to get in there, you jam against there, and it's just easier if you go through here. But you can hammer down on this, that's if it ain't really locked in. But get your wheel put on, let it down, make sure your steering wheel's straight. Start your truck, move it back and forth, pull it back up to where you have it or had it, and make sure the wheels are straight. If they're not straight, if this wheel's going out this way, I think this one's, you'd have to, I think this, you go this way.
Oh, what are you talking about?
This, you got to screw it in to bring it in that way. But like I said, if you take a piece of string and run it from that wheel down there into this wheel, and make sure it's touching both sides of the back wheel, and then come down to this one. If it's not touching on either, if you're touching against the tire, it ain't touching on one side or the other, then you got to adjust this. Both these wheels have got adjustments on it, so you have to do this one and that one if that one's out of adjustment down there. So anyway, that's how you put this together.
Where's the reason gun at, bro?
Thanks for watching. If y'all would like the video, hit the like button. If you hadn't, subscribe. Till next time, everybody. Peace.